Hey guys, welcome to the IPE conference. We're welcoming you from our lovely college housing to give you a glimpse into the world of healthcare. We figured we'd start in the same way our college semester started off, with a pre-recorded online hello and good YouTube video to get you thinking. We're both recreational therapy students. Since this video is pre-recorded and we can't tell which videos you have seen so far, we'll give you the gist of the major. We're like field scientists of healthcare. We take patients out into the community to rebuild skills. My name's Krista. I started out my college career as an electrical engineer before taking time off college to focus on my health. During the time off, I got back into aquatics and decided I wanted to change majors into something more recreation-based. Now I'm an EMT and full-time student here at Grand Valley State University. I'm really excited to be back and curious when we'll hop onto that high ropes course in the back of our classroom.
Hi guys, my name is Yasmin. Sorry about my background. I'm at home with everything going on, so this was my best option. I'm a fourth year at Grand Valley, studying recreational therapy with a minor in psychology. I did not come into my freshman year with rec therapy as my major. I was an exercise science major, and I wanted to go into OT, which might still be in the plans. That's unknown, but that's okay. I had a breakdown my sophomore year of college and realized that while I enjoyed exercise science and learning about it, it just wasn't something that I could see myself doing for the rest of my life and loving it every single day. So I talked to a couple different professional resources here at Grand Valley, one of those being the Career Center, where one of my best friend's moms works. And I kind of came across recreational therapy just on mishap, but I knew right away it was what I wanted to do with my life. And so yeah, it was something that I was really excited to learn more about. So I applied for the program and here I am really excited about what I'm learning. So I'm really excited to learn more about this career and start my journey into becoming a CTRS.
To get you oriented to the healthcare field, we have a video we'd like to show you from our first day in the program. We recommend pausing the presentation after this video to discuss things that stood out to you.
Yes, I can, suddenly, yes, I can. Gee, I'm afraid to go on has turned into, yes, I can. Take a look, what do you see? 133 pounds of confidence in me. Got the feeling I can do anything, yes, I can. Something that sings in my blood is telling me, yes, I can. I was just born today, I can go all the way, yes, I can. 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 Hey, yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can!
Are you ready? I can climb Everest. Yes, I can. I can fight here all night and never rest. Yes, I can. I was just born today. I can go all the way. Yes,
This video is great at showing the kind of mindset we want patients to experience after they have received care from a treatment team. Yes, I can is a very powerful message. It takes a team to get a person from admission to discharge. So let's break down the players involved in treatment with a sample case. Sorry, Gingy, we're going to take your legs. Let's start with the concept of acquired disability. Acquired means that a person was not born with a disability. There was an event or disease that caused a loss in function. A client is aware of this loss, and that leads to the first stage of disability acceptance, shock.
Okay, so the first stage in the 7 stages of disability acceptance is shock. So as a therapist, we know that this is a first stage of accepting a disability. So in response to that, we should provide small doses of information to our patients. We need to make it concise and clear and avoid any medical jargon that would just make what we're saying confusing to the person. We should provide printed materials at an appropriate reading level. Ask them to bring someone with them to the therapy session so that there is someone else involved in what's going on. We have to be patient and remember that the client feels like they might be abandoned. So we have to remember to remind them that under any circumstances, they will not be abandoned and that we're going to work through the situation together as a team.
One of the biggest hurdles to accepting disability is letting go of the past. This stage is part of the grieving process. The person feels a loss for their disability and longs to go back to a time before it existed, even going as far as pretending the disability does not exist. Here we see Fiona confiding in Donkey. She hides the fact that she is an ogre from everyone because she wants to live a normal, uncursed life.
So in order to combat the denial that our client is experiencing, we should again provide information at small doses at a time. If we just overload on information, it's not going to give the client time to process the information at a controlled, self-determined pace. We have to recognize and accommodate to their tolerance level so that their participation in our therapy isn't affected. Once again, we should provide printed material at an appropriate reading level. Make ourselves available for questions because at the end of the day, our client isn't going to know what's going on, so we have to be there to answer those questions. We should also consider the use of experience as a tool to learn in order to increase the insight within the client. If we give them an experience, it's going to be a lot easier to then accept what's going on.
It's important to note that the type of sadness felt in this stage is different than in denial. Denial has a focus on the past, while depression stage has gloomy focus on the future. In this instance, Shrek recognizes that others reject him, so he accepts the idea that every person will reject him even though it makes him sad. He can't see a future where he would be accepted. He has fallen to the unhealthy coping mechanism of isolation.
The third stage of disability acceptance is depression. So as therapists, it's important to know that there's a lot to manage when getting this information. So we need to know that there's also going to be a lot to manage through our clients when they're feeling depressed. So suicidal ideation is expressed to us. We have to take appropriate action, which also includes informing other members of the patient's medical care treatment team. So we can also use different intervention strategies that help lessen the symptoms of depression. So we can use regular engagement in physical activity. We can change the thinking patterns through the usage of cognitive behavioral therapy. We can implement stress management and relaxation training. And we can help implement strategies to increase the client's self-esteem and self-worth. We also have to be sure to make appropriate referrals to other treatment team members for psychological evaluation and treatment. So we should use structured success and experiences as a learning base again, to boost self-esteem and self-confidence. And we should explore what activities are meaningful to the client. We want to base our treatments off of what they enjoy and what are meaningful to them. Personal questioning comes in at stage 4. So we as therapists should help the client to understand the difference between what caused the disability and the meaning and purpose in their value system. So we should use paraphrasing and clarifying sentences to guide the patient through the realization of the fact that they have a disability. We should stray away from answering questions about the meaning of a disability because it's a personal process that the client has to go through in order to come to terms with what is going on. The client is most likely going to press us to answer the questions, but we should always reflect the question back to the client, saying, well, what do you think the meaning is, or why do you think this? We should use the common wording and phrasing because it's also going to highlight the human side of us as therapists, which is going to strengthen the relationship between us and our client. Oftentimes, people know that we're humans, but it's hard to remember that we also have another side of us than just being a therapist. So that's important as well. Stage 5 is anger. So as therapists, we have 2 options to choose between when our clients are angry. We can choose to not inquire about the behavior at all, which could reinforce the client's idea that no one truly cares about them and how they're feeling. So not the best option, but we could otherwise choose to fully recognize the situation and implement different strategies to help de-escalate our client. So if we work to identify the cause of the anger, we can problem solve, we can focus on positives of the situation, we can provide more opportunities for choice and for control, we can identify triggers, we can structure future success, and we can offer other outlets to express the anger. Anger is not a bad thing, but the manner in which we express it can be detrimental. We should teach and implement these techniques and educate our client about the impact of anger on their overall health and well-being. Growth and integration is step 6. So as a therapist, we should encourage our client to continue to grow to accept their disability. We should be aware that this phase is never going to be complete for clients because life is always changing and going in different directions. But we should encourage that advocacy and support for others, and just continue that encouragement because that's what's needed.
I chose this meme to highlight acceptance of disability. Here Shrek is an ogre. Farquaad calls him hideous, and Shrek deflects the comment with humor. It's not the perfect example, as deflection can be also part of the denial stage. However, many people aspire to have that level of confidence. Good job, Shrek.
Transcendence is the last stage in disability acceptance. So as a therapist, when our client gets to the stage, we should congratulate them, we should cheer, we should applaud, we should be happy that they're viewing disability as a tool, an asset, and an opportunity, and not a bad thing anymore. So we should always be supporting this stage and celebrating alongside our clients.
Transcendence is advocacy. At this stage, people aim to change stereotypes and become an advocate for themselves and others. If we look back and think about the opening YouTube video, this is a good example. Yes, I can.